All right. Hello everyone, and welcome to our very first episode of the Tech and Tell podcast. I'm your host, Jacinta Fabi. I'm a product designer, and today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic close to my heart, and that's breaking into tech and design as a beginner. And if you're listening to this and you've ever thought tech feels or is interesting, but you don't know where to start, or design looks exciting, but everyone seems ahead of you already, this episode is for you. So now I know tech and design can feel overwhelming, from the outside, talking about the tools, the portfolio, the job titles, imposter syndrome, and all of those other factors. But the truth is that, everyone starts somewhere, right? And today we want to break that journey into something clear and realistic for you. And yeah, I'm really excited about today's guest. Joined by another product designer who has walked this path from being a beginner to also building impactful experiences in the industry. So thank you very much for being here today, Ibrahim. I'm really glad to have you on the call.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jacinta. I mean, it's amazing, having this type of call. Looking at a lot of people trying to break into product, break into tech. I
Yeah.
think this is going to also, yeah, it's nice to have you here with me also.
All right. Thank you so much. So can you start by giving us a brief introduction about yourself, what you do, and any other thing you'd like to share?
Okay, yeah, thanks so much for that. Ibrahim, just like you rightly said, I'm a product designer, I'm a product manager, I'm a growth product designer, I'm a 3D modeler,
Wow.
I'm an interaction designer as well. So maybe that it's enough to explain myself. I think anything product you can always call on me.
Yeah.
I had about 5 years of experience also in product building. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that introduction. Um, Yeah, so let's start from the very beginning, right? A lot of people want to get into tech and design, and but they don't know where to start from or what are the right questions they have to ask, or basically they don't have like a start point, right? So to ease us into the conversation and make it more relatable, I would love to start from where your own journey like started, right? So if you can take us back, memory lane
Okay.
to when you started out. What did the early stage look for you of your career look for you? How did you discover product design? What made you go down that path? Yeah, just take us down memory lane.
Amazing. I like when people ask this question. It's always like a story I love to share with people
Hmm.
because it's amazing. So, honestly, as of 2018, I
Yeah.
don't know what product design is.
Okay.
2017, I was a 3D modeler. I've tried to explore a lot of things. I started my, you know, career being a graphic designer back then when I was in secondary school. Finished GS3 and I thought of let me learn one or two things. I learned graphic designing,
Yeah.
then the time of correct draw. So when I got to university, I studied mechanical engineering, University of Ilorin, and I started trying to explore my graphic design skill where I would try to just design anything, whether it's good, whether it's bad. So there was a program that uh we brought into the campus then. I think the program would only cost us maybe 5,000 libra. And I said, oh, let me take part in this program. I already learned graphics, even though as at that time I was just doing, all the low graphics design.
Yeah.
So I said, let me take this, and I decided to go into front end. So when I go into front end, I love front end then, but I see that I did a lot before I could achieve. So the input was looking more than the output. I'll
Okay.
write series of codes, everything, and at the end I would just see maybe just saying line or a section. I'll be like,
Yeah.
all this. I said, then I dropped that. Then I started my career as a 3D modeler. I
Okay.
explored 3D models. I learned 3D models on my own. I used Blender. And lucky for me, then I met some cool guys where we still together right now, building a startup. I met some cool guy where they also share the same thing. They were into front end and all those things. As at that time, I don't know what product design is, but because I have like the skills in 3D modeling, then I also have a bit of, you know, word range skill.
Okay.
During our years in school, they taught us how to word all these mechanical parts. Then,
Mm.
for some reason, I was calling myself a product visualization. I don't know there was a product designer career, but I was
Okay.
calling myself a product visualization because I try to like model maybe machines.
Okay.
So it gets to a point where I would model maybe a can, then I would animate it. Just like the way you see an ads where they would animate all those cans.
Yeah.
Then I was calling myself 3D, a 3D visualization, 3D visualization. So it got to a point I now said I'm a product through a 3D product visualization.
Yeah.
But I don't know there was a designer. So at some point, maybe for some reason, I got to know there is something called product designer. I was still thinking what I was doing was what was called product designer. So
Yeah.
I went for one interview, then I said I'm a product designer and all those things. And the guy said product designer. Do you know what it actually means? I said yes. Then I showed him. He said this is not product design. So that was the day I realized there was what was called product design.
Mm.
Then I was like, so there's actually then I check on online, and I saw that okay, there's actually a career called product designing. But because my passion for graphic design, 3D models,
Mm.
interactions, micro interaction, I said I was going to learn this thing. So I started learning. I was using CorelDRAW to do UI UX.
Wow.
I never knew they have like a specific tool,
Oh.
Figma, Adobe,
Yeah.
but I saw that thing. And one thing about me was I can replicate anything.
Hmm.
The fact that I can do something, I say, oh, let me sketch this thing. I
Yeah.
don't mind care about the two.
The
I'm
tool.
always about the results.
Hmm.
So I was using Red Draw, just draw something. Then I showed someone one day like that. I posted something on LinkedIn. Then, you know, I posted that thing. Someone just commented a lot of comments. Then he was criticizing what I did. But that critics was supposed to like help me to know. The guy was like, "Oh, this is good, but this is not this. A button cannot be this way. You cannot call this button."
Hmm.
Instantly, I deleted that on LinkedIn. I
Oh.
deleted it. Then that guy, my DM. The guy name is Akim Olashukbo. He's also a popular guy in this
Okay.
product design.
Okay.
It happens to be like Lawrence. So I deleted it. Then he came to my DM. He said, "You shouldn't have deleted this. It's to help you." Then
Yeah.
fast track to 2021. I was working as an automation engineer. I was working for one mechanical engineering company where I was doing 3D model of machine.
Hmm.
Then for some reason I was still learning my UI UX. Then I realized it's Figma. Then I got one job. Someone just said, "Oh, they shared I should send my portfolio, UI UX designer." Then I already had like a portfolio on Dribble, Behance. I
Hmm.
already started all this homomorphism where you design something,
Yeah.
just post. They need like a junior UI UX designer. Can you send your this thing? I just sent my portfolio. And I sent my portfolio. The guy said, "Oh, this is good." So for me, right,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm more about the output, which is
Yeah.
the result. So the guy only saw my micro interactions. I
Hmm.
can anything micro interactions. Then I even learned micro interaction before even knowing the basic of UI UX. I just want
Hmm.
to do animation. So the guy saw my
Yeah.
portfolio. Like, oh, this is nice. He interacted with my portfolio, and everything was like, he said, "Oh, cool." The guy happens to be, I call it Matthew Ulodo. He was working for Interswitch then. He then said, "Oh, this is nice. Don't worry." He said he was going to pay me X amount of money. Then at that point in time, not because of the money, I was willing to, leave that company and move into tech.
Yeah.
Then he said, "You know what? I'll pay you this amount. You'll be coming to my place, Yaba. I'll provide you a Mac." I was using an HP then. He said, "I'll be paying you this, and you'll be coming every day. You can decide to sleep." It was more of like he wanted to help me. I was not like, do I need to leave my job that is paying right now and go for something that I'm about to explore? But because of the love, I
Hmm.
said, then what I told the company I was working for then, I said, I wanted to take a leave. And I happens to be the lead mechanical engineer there. So I
Hmm.
said I wanted to leave. This decision, it was so hard for me to make this decision. I can't say I want to leave that place at that point in time. I don't even have an idea of what I'm about to, meet in the. So, and
Yeah.
the money the guy was even proposing wasn't up to how much they were paying me. at that place. So I was thinking, then I spoke to a friend. He said, you know what? Just try to take a leave. So I decided to take a leave. I said I want to go and learn something. They gave me a month. Then that a month, I was with that guy. But the guy now got to realize that I yet to understand the real part of product design.
Mm.
He only saw my prototyping. Then when he now broke it down, say, okay, let me even see your thought process. Let me see your this thing. He realized that all my button was just layers and just text, group them, no frame, nothing. It was like, he said, that amount I said I was going to give you, I'm not sure I will pay you that amount again. He then slashed that amount to
Ah.
like cut. He wasn't even half quarter. I said, don't worry, I'll still take this. In as much I'll be learning. That was
Mm.
when the trust me, I did not finish with that guy before I got a call.
Mm.
I just got a call. I did not even know I submitted my portfolio. Just the same way I already have my portfolio. There was one group I was then, Figma, Learning something something. The guy just called me. Hello, is this Ibrahim? I saw your portfolio. It was amazing. I saw your micro interaction and some 3D models on the portfolio. I did my portfolio on Figma. I did not use Dribble and Behance. I did
Okay.
my portfolio on Figma. Then I shared the prototype. So he said, okay. Then instantly the guy negotiated the amount he was going to pay me. This is the company. The amount was like, transfer of what
Mm.
I'm currently earning. Like, can this be real? I was telling myself. He said, Are you available at the moment? I did not even I said, Yes, I'm available. I was eager. Then,
Yeah.
not until I got my first salary that year. That was when I believed, oh, it's actually real. So I was
Mm.
able to translate from being a mechanical engineer, being
Wow.
a 3D model. I haven't explored a lot of things. And with the passion, I was able to transform from those sides to the product space. So that
Wow.
was how I got to product space. It was a long story, but I needed
Yeah.
to, just complete this.
Yeah, it
But it's
seems
amazing.
like yeah, it seems like quite a journey, like a lot.
Yeah,
And from what you said, it seems like a lot of the things that are even trending now, you already started doing them from like way back.
exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Exactly.
That must have been really interesting. So no wonder now
Yeah.
I see where you post a lot of 3D works and everything. It means it has been a part of you from a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even then,
Mm-hmm.
then I think I had enough time to learn then than even now.
Mm-hmm.
At that
Yeah.
point, when you don't have a job at that point in time, you want to learn anything.
Yeah.
Neobrutalism, glassmorphism,
Mm-hmm.
anything. I
Yeah.
want to just jump, test it. This is how to do it. Post it. So I was able to like get those things done then. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's very interesting. So, so when you like want transition from being a 3D animator or mechanical engineer to product design, were there any misconceptions or what are like some of the misconceptions you heard about, pivoting into product design? Because I, for one, too, like when I wanted to pivot, I was hearing things like, oh, you need to have a tech degree or a design degree to be a product, things like that. So was there anyone for you that sort of like maybe discouraged you from pivoting?
Okay, so maybe it was hard for me. The only thing that I noticed then was, I would say, the cloud, or let me say the people.
Okay.
So one thing that would discourage people is when you look outside there,
Mm-hmm.
at times you get depressed. At
Mm,
what point do I do this? So
mm,
I started using LinkedIn way back when I was in I would say 300 level. So
mm,
anytime I try to and I see what people they're doing, I'll be like, for me to get to this space, it's
mm.
going to be hard for me. So I wasn't that confused about, or I don't have any misconception about this role,
Okay.
because I see that it's a clear vision for me. I
Okay.
already explored engineering coding. I realized that anything visual is what I
Mm,
would love to do.
mm,
Anything that I would do animation, anything that I would see, anything that I can easily, manipulate is what I think it's cool for me. But
mm-hmm,
the idea or issue I had then was the set of people that were championing this space as at that point in time.
mm,
I would not mention names, but when you see those people, the thing they post or the ideology around the product space you are about to enter were
mm-hmm,
discouraging at that time. So it felt like, oh, for you to get to this space, you must have had about X years of
mm.
experience,
Yeah.
7 years of experience. So when I do something So there was a time I reached out to someone, right?
Yeah.
That can you help me? Then it was more of like the infant stage of my life for the product design space. The guy did not even read my message on LinkedIn. But later, 2 years back, he reached out to me.
Mm.
So I would say that the misconception were around people, they were championing the space then. It was looking more of like, no, for you to get to this place, things they will post. So it wasn't encouraging. I'll say that
Mm.
is, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it can also be like that, where you feel intimidated, sort of, and be like, oh, can I ever get to this point or to this level that these people are? Yeah, so also you mentioned something about um having like the versatile skill of being a micro having the micro interaction as a
Yeah,
part of your
sorry.
skill, yeah, 3D animation and a whole lot
Yes.
of other things. So also you mentioned about having your portfolio in Figma. So I'm guessing
Yeah.
like having these multiple skills, having your portfolio were things that
Yeah.
accelerated your career, were the things that accelerated your career at the initial stage. So was there any other thing that you did that sort of like, you know, pushed your career or accelerated it at the early stage for you?
Okay, so one thing that I did
Mm-hmm.
at the early stage was, so it wasn't, and this is me being honest, this is not motivating anybody. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't about the money up till now. So I don't put money first. Two things I put first: the value and what I'm about to gain from this in terms of learning. So what I
Mm-hmm.
did then was, as at that time, I could have said, "Oh, I want to back out," when the guy slashed the money into four.
Mm, yeah.
Just say, but I was curious about. I actually had passion for this. I said no. So I started volunteering.
Okay.
I volunteered for some of those activities. I would reach out to some people on LinkedIn. I would even tell them, I can volunteer for you. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this. So I volunteered for about two companies then. There was
Okay.
one company, I forgot the name. I volunteered for them. I also volunteered for another company. So number one thing I would say is not the money first. The money will
Okay.
come. And it always happen even while you move along your career, even up to now. And it can be a bad side, but I'm not sure it's a bad side for me. Most time I don't talk about money first, even when you bring a project to me. I would allow you to talk everything. I would even sell you the value. This is how we'll go about it. I will tell you these are the things I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Before you even want to say, then how much are you looking at?
Yeah.
So I think should not be money first. Let me be sincere. Majority of people we have today that they wanted to like break into tech. The issue, or let me say what they're thinking, is the money parts.
Mm.
I've seen a lot of people, and I'm very sure you'd also seen a lot of people that you mentored. I mentored a lot of people, where the first thing is, at what point can I start to make money?
Makes money.
You say, if I'm spending, so how many months can I use to like learn this thing? And
Yeah.
if am I going to, you see series of questions that obviously you can tell that
Mm.
this guy or this lady, he actually needs money.
Mm.
Now, it's actually to know this is bringing money,
Yeah.
but you have to know it should be a sacrifice first. So one thing I did very well then was I volunteered
Okay.
a lot. I
Okay.
reached out to company that, as at that point in time, I should be earning, but I reached out
Mm.
to them that I actually wanted to volunteer. I
Mm.
would even beg, let me just learn from you. Up till now, I still volunteer for some companies
Mm.
because I know it's something that I'm still looking for.
Yeah.
So there will be some companies that if they call me now, or I can reach out to them and say, let me volunteer for you. Let me just do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say volunteering is very important. Being intentional is also very important. So you
Mm.
have to be intentional about
Yeah.
why you are doing something. So if your goal is I want to make money, I would advise starting your career with that I want to make money. If you're lucky, you would make the money, but it's a wrong things that you start with. So it's a 50-50 chance for you.
Okay.
So those are the things I want to do that. So volunteering and being intentional.
Intentional. Okay, that's cool. And I like the point of you raised about volunteering as well. It's a very big
Yes.
factor as because you get to also include it in your CV, your portfolio.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that can give you
Exactly.
an edge. Yeah, that's really
Exactly.
cool. So how do you like when you started out? So how do you practice like design, especially when you have not been on an actual project before. So how do you
Okay.
what are those things you do to ensure that you have hands-on skills in terms of like UI? I know there's also UX, but for you to
Yes.
practice design, how do you go about that?
Okay. So, like I said the other time,
Mm-hmm.
I try to recreate anything I see,
Okay.
even before being a product designer.
Okay.
When I cite something, I want to like visualize and recreate it,
Okay.
whether to do the 3D model or the 2D
Mm-hmm.
image. So most time I go on Dribble or Behance. Then I would screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll bring it to my Figma. Where we have layers, I'll place my layer. Where we have circle, I'll place the circle.
Okay.
I do this. Now, when I do this, when I got to met that guy also, so most time I would say one person that trained me is that guy. I call
Mm.
him Matthew. Very nice guy. So when I started working with him, the moment he realized that this guy, he knows what he wants,
Yeah.
but he still needs to understand the basics of UI. The
Mm-hmm.
guy will now send me something. Who said I should design this dashboard.
Mm.
When he sent me that dashboard, he said I should replicate that dashboard to design it. So
Mm.
instead of me putting the dashboard snippet on one side, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
just place it on the frame. I'll be tracing it, like you're tracing something.
Yeah.
I'll draw square exactly where it is, and then after that, I'll now remove that. Is like when you duplicate or when you like,
Mm.
when you create something.
Yeah.
So it was building me. That ideology was building me because I could got those things very fast. There should be a size of button. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't drawing button like so big that time because I now see that for all this dashboard or for all this snippet I've been tracing, I realized that the button are always within this range. Even
Yeah.
before I got to, so there was one book that I read then also, Refactoring UI. I
Okay.
recommend refactoring UI up till now, and I still read refactoring UI for funny enough till now.
Okay.
So that refactoring UI, after doing those things, I also got to get that refactoring UI. So refactoring UI is a book that helps with UI design,
Okay.
all the basic principle, why you should use this button, why you should use that was where I learned emphasize to the emphasize to emphasize, why you should have an header, why you can play with two header and you don't overwhelm user when they are reading it, where you de-emphasize on either using the gray color, either
Yeah.
reducing the opacity. So I learned, okay, these are the steps of button, this is how a card should look like, this is the shadow. It was after I started tracing those things I was like, why is button of this has to look this way? Why do we have to have it this way? So I read that book and it also like gave me more insight to how things should look like. Then beyond that also, then I started downloading apps. Whether I'm using the app or not, I will download the app. Any website I see today, from up till now, I still do that. Any
Well,
website you see me, if I open my tab now, you
yeah.
see inspirations. So any website I see today, whether I'm on my way, going out, or anything, the moment I see this on a billboard anyway, I'm grabbing it. I want to go and see that website.
Mm.
Any site. And up to now, I do that. So it gives me a place where I'm storing those things. So when you now
Mm.
ask me to design something, I'll go to those websites and I'll pick out a particular sections that fit in what I'm about to design.
Mm.
So very fast, even up till
Yeah.
now. So if you tell me, okay, design a website or a landing page now, I'll just look at about 5 websites or 10 websites. Then I'll start to look at if I want to design this hero section, let me see which one I can use. So I started doing those things also.
Mm.
Then started building me. And funny enough, when I forgot to like finish that, I was explaining the other time. The first company I was working for then, they were into insurance. It was a new set of sector entirely. It was hard for me. If it was a fintech, it would be easy for me to go on Dribble and Behance, quickly get dashboards. So those people were looking at me like, this is Baba, we're bringing, when they're like, we bring this guy is solid. And when I got to that place, when you regret of not learning things earlier, I
Mm.
started regret. It was looking like
Mm.
I was going to lose the job. Then one thing I do at that time, instead of me coming from work to K2, I'll move from work to Yaba. That guy was staying in Yaba. It would be like, when you leave school and they give you an assignment and you just go
Yeah.
to someone that will guide you. How do I? So from work to that guy, I will do night. The guy will say, calm down. This is how. So while I was working then, I was still learning.
Mm.
I, ideology, I should be like, oh, I already got this job, money is flowing. I
Yeah.
was still going to Yahoo. I was doing
Yeah.
night. The Yahoo would come and be like, guy, go and sleep. So I would say majority of those things, just like the question you asked, we're practicing, retracing,
Yeah.
downloading apps, asking questions, why we should have this, why is this not here? I'm
Mm.
always curious. I'm eager to know, even beyond just digital product, physical product also. I question why an handle of a door should be here,
Mm.
why this be here. Maybe because I'm coming from a mechanical engineering background, or
Yeah.
because I'm coming from an engineer, typical engineer, where
Mhm.
you question every part you place on a
Yeah.
machine. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm always curious about knowing those things, retracing, practicing, and I think those things actually helped also.
Yeah. So talking about UI now, we're talking about, recreating designs and that. What skill do you think like designers starting out should prioritize? Do you think they should prioritize the UI more or the UX product thinking? Like what skill do you think should come first?
Okay, I think the only thing should come first is consistency. And
Mm.
I'll say this: if you're comfortable learning UI first,
Mhm.
continue to do that. When it gets to the point where you learn your UX, you get it. If you're
Mhm.
comfortable learning UX first, I would say do that. If you're
Okay.
comfortable saying, oh, you want to understand product thinking first, I would say go about it.
Mhm.
Because I've got to realize that they all work hand in hand. Let me be sincere.
Okay.
UI influence UX. UX influence your UI. Your product thinking influence everything.
Mm.
So I started. So what I was thinking UX then, back then when I started, it was like the prototyping. I was thinking is the UX. I
Mm.
would think, I'm serious. I
Okay.
was like, I you see, I was thinking is the prototyping that is the UX. Once you do the UI, you know
Yeah.
why I think prototyping? Because they will say the experience. The experience is the UX. In my own, thinking, I'll be like, okay, when you connect them, when they click on button,
Mm.
you move the experience end to end. Now, imagine I said I wanted to learn UX back then. I want to start with UX. It might be what this is what I'll be thinking or something else. But one thing I always believe is consistency. If you feel comfortable learning UI first, it has to be within you being intentional to say, okay,
Mhm.
let me even master this place first. Who
Mm.
knows? Imagine a designer coming as a graphic designer. It's always hard for them to translate to UI UX design. And I will tell you the
Yeah.
truth. Most of them, when they translate, you still see that part of graphics. So I would say if it is UI you're comfortable starting with, if
Okay.
it is UX, it's product thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Get one, set a goal, and make sure you're consistent with it.
Right.
So either of those three, I think would help.
Okay.
It's just it's just being intentional about okay, what is
Yeah.
the end goal? What is the result? Yeah, that's what I'll say to that.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, looking at the time now, we would have to maybe we still have two or three questions to cover so we can meet up. Right. So
Yeah.
another question that I think most beginners also have is if design certificates are worth it at the end of the day, because you see when you want to start out, they get these links to, take online courses and for them to like at least have what's the word, a foundation of what tech or what design is about. So do you think these design certificates are worth it, or should beginners just focus more on their portfolio project?
Okay. So I think that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Design certificates, I think, is not really the problem.
Okay.
But either of the two, you should start with. Could that be more? Is this a network issue?
Yeah, I think it is, but I can
Hello,
hear
can you
you
hear me?
now. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Cool. So as I was saying, right, I think
Mhm.
it is not a problem of all the portfolio.
Okay.
But let's assume you want to go with one. Say you start with your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the misconception about portfolio building, or this is what people think about portfolio building. People now just want to have portfolio, and that is why I would say anything you want to do in life, you have to be intentional about it. You know, you can always get portfolio now, and you would apply for job, and you don't even have up to that skill that you put in that portfolio.
Mm,
So what I would say is hands on something. You have to do something.
okay.
Whether you're taking a certificate, whether you want to build your portfolio, you have to have a goal around it. The
Yeah.
reason why I'm taking this certification course is because I want to learn this. I want to understand this.
Okay.
Now, portfolio should be a result of your skill.
Okay.
Portfolio should be a result of what you've did, whether personally or whether for yourself. That is what portfolio should be, right?
Okay.
But majority of people right now, what they do is just get something on the web. I mean, just check for it. But if you go to Figma community now, you see series of uh projects that some people would mirror. Personally, at times when I finish project when I finish some personal stuff, I push it on Figma community, and
Mhm.
I've seen instances where I saw my design, someone presenting it as a portfolio.
Wow.
So like I said the problem is not either of these two, but the I think it should be around building something, working
Okay.
on something. You can have something, you can have one project that you
Mhm.
can say, yes, this is the result from this.
Yeah.
The result from this is I was able to learn this, I was able to master this. But enough of all the talks, right? Let's assume all these intentions are being put in place. I would say portfolio would get you what you want.
Okay.
Certificate is formality. Certificate is just for, putting yourself outside there. I have
Mhm.
this certification and this, I have this. But the real work is the skill. So
Okay.
it's just like I would say is like UI UX. Let's use UI UX for example now. People would only interact with your products when the UI is okay. That is what would attract them at first. What would keep them is the experience you got
Mm,
from your
yeah.
now let's look at certificate and portfolio that way. Your portfolio will get you the job. Your certification, what you learned, your skill, and every other stuff would show if they should retain you or not.
Mm,
So this certification, like I said, being intentional should be what you've learned. You got a
yeah.
certificate because you master this skill, and
Mhm.
you can say, "Oh, I can replicate this skill." So your portfolio would get you the job.
Mhm.
What would retain you is as a result of what you've learned. Maybe getting a certificate at that point in time would
Yeah.
retain you. But of
Mm,
course, certificate is just a name. The skill is between both the portfolio and the certificate. You need to
yeah.
have the skill.
Yeah.
You need to be able to say, I actually did this and I can replicate this.
Mm. Okay. So,
Yeah,
okay. So from your response, it means that they both work hand in hand, or they both work together.
exactly.
Okay.
They both work together, but the like I said, the result itself is my concern, is the skill.
It's skill.
People
Okay.
would say, yes, is the skill, is what you get from it. People would say, oh, I want to build portfolio. They would go online, get a lot of projects, not their own projects, put it together. Then I'll say, oh, I get the job. Some people would say, oh, I've seen people that go if you go to Udemy now, you don't need to finish the course. You can always get the
Mm,
certificate. Just check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. Then after I done, oh, congratulations, you now get this certificate. But who is telling who? Then when you get
mm,
the job, most people don't even recruit on LinkedIn again. Because when you go to LinkedIn now, you see 1001 certifications. You
mm,
see portfolios. When you get them, trust me, to come and work, that is when you realize these two don't count.
mm,
It is that counts. But
mm.
like I said, two are okay if the goal is being met.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we have like about 4 minutes on the time, but before
Yeah.
that, we wrap up. Final questions. What free or beginner level like learning resources would you recommend? What tools or what are those resources that you can recommend to someone that is looking to start out?
Okay, thank you. I think there was the first thing I would recommend is YouTube. is your
Okay.
number one resource.
Okay.
Right now, you don't even need to tell someone that this is where you watch this movie.
Mm.
They will even want to tell you, oh, I can get it on Telegram, I can get it on YouTube. Your
Yeah.
number one source of resources as of today is YouTube.
Okay.
And there is not that you want to learn that you not find on YouTube.
Okay.
And I mean, this is like a good era, right? I would say during our own time, there is nothing like OpenAI. There is nothing like Gemini.
Mm.
So you can go online and get random this thing. If you're lucky, fine. So the next thing is people need to start to leverage on AI to learn.
Okay.
And there is a way about it also. So there are free resources that people can start with.
Okay.
YouTube is the number one.
Mm-hmm.
The likes of AI, Gemini is the number two. Then
Mm-hmm.
they should read books. And one book that I would also recommend that I keep recommending is the book I just told you, which is Refactoring UI.
Okay.
For a beginner, I recommend this a lot. But every other resources, they are on YouTube.
Okay.
You only need to start. You only need to know, okay, what am I picking first? So
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, AI, then also read books,
All
which of
right.
course I have a lot of books that I can share the drive also probably after this where we can
Yeah.
get to some people.
Yeah, that would be nice. I can attach it to the description so people can have access. That would be really good. Thank you very much. Just to keep this short, any final advice that you would give to beginners who feel stuck or overwhelmed in their journey? What any short advice you have for them would go a long way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the short advice is just start now
Okay.
and practice. Like just start now. Be intentional about it.
Hmm.
Repeat it and repeat and repeat it. That is one thing I would say. Personally, I don't motivate people. I would say I do, all this motivational speaker where they will tell you when you get to do this, that is when you know it is within you.
Hmm.
So you have to practice things and don't see it as a failure. Pick
Yeah.
it up again. I'll tell you that I still learn some basic stuff that I'll still go and read. So let me even, there's what we call relearn to unlearn or unlearn to relearn, something like that. So
Yeah.
you go back. So I would say they should keep practicing, keep
Hmm.
pushing,
Yeah.
continue to like uh try to drive a goal from that.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. This was a very insightful session. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would, learn a lot from this, from your experience, from advice, from your recommendations, and even the resources that we plan on, sharing to them go a long
Yeah,
way. Thank you very
yeah.
much for being
You're
on the very
welcome.
first episode.
Yeah, well done. Well done hosting this, right? It's
Thank
really,
you.
encouraging. It was
Yeah.
something I tried to pull up some years back, but I
Okay.
could not sustain. This is actually nice. Well done.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. All right.
All right, enjoy.
Yeah, so have a very lovely day and enjoy the rest
Bye.
of your evening. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Bye.